We're back. And we have the combination. Schlotkin! Go back to the golf course and work on your putts. Sure, you know, Chad, I'll be billing you for this. The Kraken wants to stop you from finishing the shuttle. Yep. So what happened there? Don't know. Chat stopped and I dropped frames, dude. That's what happened. Yep, I don't like that. It's the combination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's amazing. I got the same combination on my luggage. I mean, I don't think my internet went down or anything. I think that was just Twitch because the music stream never stopped on my end. Another wing to the strike to continue the strike into the wing. Your live indicator for the stream was flickering. Okay, good to know. Hey, I just got the notification that EJ went live. Just thought I'd let you know. You know, you can. You know, if you EJ just went live. If you use your Prime sub, it's free, and you can give EJ a month sub for nothing. It's free money for you, streamer. State. DJ, what's going on? How's it going, bud? How's everything going? Good, Pancakes. Yeah, everything's good. Maybe continue the black triangles all the way up to the front of the wing. Yeah, maybe. So I'm just going back and forth between massaging that and massaging that. Dude, it is close. We are very close. This is really, really close to being right. Like, how far back can this thing actually go before it starts to cause big problems? Yeah. That's where that needs to be. I had those wings end up overlapping just a little bit, because these wings, for whatever reason, I noticed they overlap and they don't Z-fight too much. But Man, if I just didn't use an I-beam to make this all work. But I would need something there to hold this all together. It's really important. Okay, chat. Proto 4. I'm gonna make a backup here. And then we'll reload Proto 4. Been stressful. A few months, had more family losses. Also in recent pain from recent surgery. Well, I hope you feel better, TJ. Hey, Mock, what's going on? Been a long time. Collins is looking great. I remember when you were building the first Collins. Yeah, dude. You were EJ, the time traveler, and send us back to the shuttle program time. That's right. You've only been live for about 3 minutes, right? No, my uptime is just over 6 hours right now. Well, Aqualex, I got a crazy idea, dude. It's gonna get a little weird. Ready? The I-beam doesn't need to be on the leading edge. The I-beam is there for structure. It's there to hold everything together. It doesn't need to be like that. So, because that's the case, what we can do is something like this. And use the backside of the wings as the leading edge. Yeah, Yarg, they don't think it be like it is sometimes, but you know, the truth of the matter is that it do be like that, okay? I know, it's tough for some to understand. Yep. Okay. It is very, very cash money indeed, Master. The only thing I'm not too big of a fan of is that sticking out, but we can fix that. Now, here is where flags would get very, very helpful. So, let's go in here. I have my color swatches that Predominant made me. We have gray. And just go in here like this, and just... Because we have some kind of room to breathe here, right? The flags are physics-less parts, so they won't bog down your part count as much as you might think. Vince Dooley died, if you know who that is. Name sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is. You could use a 625 radius flag as an alternative cap to the leading edge. Yeah, I think they're not. I don't think they're what we're looking for. It's too much, like, I know what you're saying, like the small ones, like that, but I don't think that's much of a curve. We get more of a curve out of the backside of the wing edge. See what I mean? Right here, though, I don't know. Legendary coach of the Georgia Yule Dogs. Oh no, that sucks. That's a shame, dude. I don't like it when that happens, but it happens, man. Hopefully it was old age. He was 90. Okay. Yep, not too upset. If you live a full life, guys, I don't really, you know, people die of old age. You can't beat Father Time, right? I always say that. You know, it's when, you know, so there's really nothing to be upset. I think the guy left his mark, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like it when people die young. That's really unfortunate. It's Friday! Yeah. Oh my goodness, I'm so close to getting this freaking right. There are 625 ore tanks, but they don't node attach. They're a radial attachment thing, Aqualex. You can do it, but it doesn't look exactly how you think. Can you stop making me want to go make a shuttle again? Okay, it's bad for the efficiency of my chores. Okay, no, sorry, can't do that. No, can't do that. Can't fix that. Sorry. Okay. How do you find launch schedules? Links in the chat, my dude. Oh, that panel's not lined up. No wonder this isn't fitting. It just sticks out just a little bit, man. It's so close to being right. Ah! Oh, it's not lined up. It's not lined up. Hold up. Hold up. Blah, 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 blah. Bye. 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 Shh, 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 shh. Crazy. How does she fly? Don't know. I've been power grinding out this shuttle design over the past couple of days. I haven't had time to fly it. It should fly like the old one. How do you feel about the schedule on... JPSS2 with Lofted? That's a huge mission. Yeah, no, yeah, it sucks. It's at a really annoying time, but I'm not gonna miss that one. You don't want to miss Lofted. Lofted is awesome. It's a smart reuse prototype. It's an inflatable. Argolex, that thing has a gigantic inflatable heat shield on it. They're gonna test the inflatable heat shield for smart reuse for Vulcan. When you're done with this, you should 3D print it. Oh. Elon just tweeted about... Oh, nice. Neat. You know what? I got another idea. Oh. Greetings from the peak of Cowles Mountain, San Diego. Hey, Victory. Could a thruster go there? There's no thrusters there on the real one, Daza. Yeah. I know I look like I'm really confused. Trust me, I'm just trying to get this right. That's all. You're always confused, though. Thanks. I don't mind if that sticks out just a little bit. It's okay. Oh, that's cool. Adept. Really neat. That's cool, man. I know this is getting tedious. Trust me. I know it is. I can feel it. I can feel the people through the computer that are like, what are you doing, man? Seriously? Yes. Seriously, yes. Yes, chat. Oh, nice, Fire. There you go. Thoughts on Red Bull? Man, they just showed that you can get a slap on the wrist for literally breaking the rules. That's $7 million and less aero time. Great. You already have the fastest car. All right. Are you going to do Shuttle C or aft cargo carrier? I might design that into this. Probably not Shuttle C. I mean, even though I kind of could. We're already at 394 parts. And Alleviate, I also find it really, really funny that they say, oh, it's misinterpretation of the rules. Yeah, you know they got a word for that, dude. You know what that word is? Falcon Heavy's on Tuesday. That's right, Panta. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. They got a word for that. You know what that word is? It's cheating. So, we're less than a year in to these new rules with this stupid cost cap that someone thought was a good idea to even the playing field, which is hilarious. Yeah. And, multiple teams have been caught cheating. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to me. Yeah, Tuesday's gonna be fun. Yeah, Aqualex, we could do that. We could incorporate that into the architecture if we really wanted to. Not a bad idea. Oh, that grinds my gears that just clips in there. News conference Thursday for the A1 rollout. Yep. That's next Thursday, though, Novus, right? $11.3. Got it. How am I gonna do down here? We still gotta fill that up. I can't wait to see SpaceX hit 60 launches in a year. Dude, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Yeah. It's gonna be insane. What's up, EJ? How's the shuttle going? Hitting the Jackets Bruins game in a few. Nice, Dread. Yeah, it's going good, man. I'm just kind of getting the last bits of the shell finished, and then from there it's doing wings. The center lift is way bad right now. It's actually really not good. Yeah, that's pretty crappy. Oops. Yeah, JSpeed, it's pretty solid. I'll check it over again in a little bit, but it's never going on Kerbal XW Canadian. No. I have about as comprehensive of a building tutorial here as I possibly can, dude. You guys seeing what I'm seeing? All right. Hold on. We might be able to get away with this. Just move those out of the way. I might be able to just sandwich two wings. Old school. That's a real old school way of doing things. Alright, we'll move to Proto 5. Screw it. I've seen enough here to make this work. Let's do that. Cuts out a ton of parts, too. Dude, I don't know why we didn't think of this one before, but yeah, that's really, really good. How's the center of lift, center of mass? It's okay. We gotta mess with it, but I also haven't finished the wing work down under here, so that's not like true COM. Well, I mean, I was just stating facts, Roger. Good on you for being consistent. Thank you. Yeah, Taradra, sure I had some reason why I didn't want to do this, but... Yikes. Can't think of what that was now. And we cut out probably about 10 parts, which is good. We'll get those parts back for other things. Yeah, I do. This is 375, guys. This isn't bad. 375 is where we need to be. Once again, I was shooting for about 400. The other shuttle, the CTS-NG is, I think, 455, and it was 455 with the robotic arm and payload. And that was with the payload being about, I don't know, 30 to 40 parts. Let's just round up and say the payload was 40 parts. That's still 425, so it's not bad, but also that gives me about 50 parts to finish the shuttle and build the robotic arm for it. That might be a little bit difficult. I know, Penta. I know. This one might weigh in a little bit higher than the other one, and then, you know, unfortunately from there, we got to figure out where we want to cut parts out of this thing. Which kind of sucks, but I've already made an optimization, which is actually pretty good at the same time. Oh, no. No, 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 no. That has to be right there. This is an integration point where the external tank attaches. I have it as a physical piece because yeah, that makes the stack stay together a little better. Is there any way I can screw around with this to make this work? The integration point is great. Kraken bearings, man. Yeah, pretty cool. I could do that. We could do them better. I could make them open like the actual doors, but that would be just more parts. This was the cheapest part to use, so that's why I did it that way. And how you doing, buddy? By the way, how's things? Doing good. Playing the VATS for 10 hours today. I don't know what that means, but alright, cool. Sounds good. What did he say? What does that mean? Slinging the Zaz. I'm dumb. The pizzas. Yeah, okay. I got you. Sorry, I'm not hip. I'm not in the groove. Dude, we're this close to getting this right. It's almost there. I love it how I have an RCC texture now. And we cut out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 parts for one to do the exact same thing, which is actually pretty damn cool. Thanks, Thomas. Efficiency. Using grip pads on a straight edge and squish the wings more. Yeah, you really want those grip pads, huh? I don't like using grip pads, dude. I really don't. Yeah, I hate them. They grip stuff. I know that. It's like, yeah, I know, EJ. Of course they grip stuff. They're called grip pads. Yeah, no, that's the thing. They grip stuff. Like, they'll hold parts around them. They're really weird. They're glitchy. Not, like, totally into them. Hello, beautiful. It's not bad, dudes. It's not bad. It's not getting me what I want. That don't look too bad. Alright, we'll leave that like that for now. That will not look right. So, after the armpit, the RCC stops halfway through the payload bay. Oh. Oh, frick. There goes the planet. Space balls? Oh, frick. There goes the planet. Hear me out. Hear me now. Hear me now. How goes the Collins rebuild? It's going good, man, but I am deep in focus right now. See, now, the problem is that shape needs to... It needs to be up here. And that means I need to redo the strake. And I don't want to redo the strake. Screw that. We are out of parts for the part budget for this area. We've already used a ton, and I'm still not finished. Okay. I got another solution. The conflicting textures look horrible. With how fast you're getting through this break for space news? No. Why would I do... Tessa, why would I do that? Hey, Mr. Newts. Good to see you again, man. How are you? Tessa, wait. Why would I... We have work to do, man. This is almost there. I just got to power through a little bit more. We'll get it. This is some of the hardest and craziest and fastest work that I've ever done in Kerbal. Look at what we threw together in 3 days thus far. This is ridiculous for 3 days of building, by my standards. It's absurd. Yeah, something like that, Kane. There we go. Now, let me just take this, move that down there like this, and then move this down one more. My eyes hurt from not blinking over the past 3 days. Ah. I feel like you'd be helping flatten out the armpit, as you called it. It seems a bit sharp. Okay. Yeah, we can get away with that, I think. Okay, this looks good. Now here's what we do for the end piece. All right, give me a right triangle. Let's see if we can make it. Let's see if we can make the right triangle fit. If we can get the right triangle to work, then this will look really nice. Problem is that equilateral versus right triangles. So then take this, I see you finally adopted your idea. I see you're still talking to me in chat when I've said multiple times that I'm not paying attention to chat, but, you know, sure. That makes you feel better. You know what's gonna suck? We're gonna go take this thing out, and it's not gonna fly. It's gonna suck. I have a feeling. It's not a good feeling. Jerry Lee Lewis, rip. Ouch. I mean, if we put it out right now, it'll just droop. Because nothing is strutted. There's nothing strutted together here. I mean, like, looking at, from judging by what I'm seeing here, So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Yeah, see, that's... Why did it move? Yeah, it's got to be a little bit more forward. I'm not sure if having 2 wings back here is going to be good for us, man. Center of mass, though, is pretty much exactly where it needs to be, which, I mean, that's good. But we got to... Yeah, we got to figure out something with the center lift. Maybe we should get it to a rough testable state to check. Yeah. I gotta run a good amount of struts here, Yard, but yeah. Oh, that looks good. It looks real nice. I'm gonna take Old Glory off for just a second here, just to see kind of where we're at in terms of part count and stuff. Clip some strakes into the front. Well, I haven't completed the underside yet, but there's a reason why I was fidgeting with this so much, because what I want to do, you guys are talking about using the flags the whole time, like, and I agree with you, we should use it, but we got to be choice about when we use it, you know, or else it's going to be really obvious. I have flags with just color swatches on them. If you want this flag pack, exclamation point flags in chat should get you what you're looking for. Stretch and blink. All right, give me a second. Oh no, let me finish up the flags here. I'm not sure I'm into that, guys. Just saying, doesn't look particularly nice with the flag. Yeah, no, I hear you. Maybe, yeah, maybe using the white panels will do. Just bridging the shape out. It's like 3 or 4 more parts. Maybe. Probably not. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's gonna be a little more than that. Let's see here. Let's do that, right? And then, okay, place this. I don't care if that little triangle's there. That's really not a problem. Okay, now we're gonna need one of these.
Discovery,
go and throttle up. What's up, Coltec? Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shoot! Get the frick out of here! What are you doing? Come on, we're all dead. Get the frick out. Oh man, did that smell good? Detectives, no going in there. You tell me 2 things. I run. Are you my oh, maybe one of the structural wing connectors? The structural wing connector. That is kind of the right shape, creep. Let's see. Let me finish with the panels first, and if I don't like the panels, then we'll change it. Because you can get any shape with the panels, that's why I like them. Yep, we don't need those. There'll be a little zippity-doo-dah over there. That's okay. Go down in here like this. Move this over here like that. Move that like that. Move that like that. And then take this one here. I got the panel tessellation stuff pretty much down to a workflow. You got to rotate it, place it, and then rotate it again. So now they're placed. Now you take this piece, and all you should do is just, or you should have to do is just rotate it down and it should be in position. Yeah, it's not because I rotated this. I rotated that panel right there. But it don't matter. What mama don't know won't hurt her. And Mom, if you're watching, don't disregard what I just said, please. Clicked instead of damn it. Why? Why? The front fell off. Gosh dang, stupid shuttle armpit. Yeah, exactly, right? So annoying. So tired of this. Frickin' go away, you freak. Nah, it's fine, guys. I'm actually doing pretty good over here. Pretty happy with the speed that we did this. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. That's fine. We're at 392 parts. And I have not finished the damn shell. There are 391 parts. Shell is not finished. Can you please switch the triangles you just placed to darker for a moment? Huh. Yeah. 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 What's that, Yarg? What's the particle for the orbiter? I was aiming for 400, Yarg, but it's probably going to be around 450. Probably 500 with payload, which kind of sucks, but... I could just get that little bit below the line here, like that. Call me Mr. Tweaker? I don't want to be called that. Yeah, I earned it, didn't I? Is the real one that thick in that area? Actually, yes. It's not that thick, but it does get the point across. That is the widest part of the RCC. Yeah, right around the armpit. My hands are slipping off the keys. My hands are actually sweaty. Last, please. Nah, part count, dude. I'm not doing that. I'm not really too happy with how that came in, but we're part count, deadline, etc., etc. We gotta go, which really sucks, but it is what it is. It blends in with that texture and it looks right, so it's okay. There is one last thing that we could probably get away with here, and that one last thing is honestly finger slipped. Damn. Just in case anybody's saying undo in the chat, undo causes a memory leak in the game. I already pushed Kerbal to its maximum, so yeah, don't worry about it. I don't think we even. Yeah, we still do. We still need that piece. That was on purpose. I'll take compound geometry tessellation for 5,000. Last. Okay. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. NASA is working on the development of a surface lunar habitat for Artemis 1 within 30 to 60 days operation, with 30 to 60 days operation on the lunar surface. No, chat didn't give me a 1 week time limit. Chat challenged me to a 1 week time limit. You don't give me deadlines in this mission mode save. At this rate, we'll have it flying the day after KSP 2 comes out. Hey, guys, if you're watching with your kids, can you give me like 15 seconds? Like seriously, if you're watching with your kids, just mute the stream for like 15 seconds. I'll wait about 5, and then just give me about 15, okay? If at all possible. So here, I'll just put the timer on the screen here. All right, we got 15 seconds. Ready? So mute the stream right now. Hey, Hellfish, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. All right, all up. Put your mouth all up in my ass. All right. Just. Yep. Okay, we're out of time. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it. We didn't say any bad words, don't worry. You know, just we didn't say any bad words. We were talking about what's for dinner. Thanks, Dave. We're doing good, dudes. Anyway, what does this say? Okay, envisioned as a primary asset to achieve a sustained lunar presence, NASA is working with industry to develop conceptual designs for surface habitat. 2 to 4 crew. Medical exercise. 30 to 60 day capability. EVA capability with suit maintenance capability. Communication hub for surface assets. Self-sufficient once fully deployed on the surface. That one, though. Reuse multiple missions of a 15-year lifetime. What's for dinner again? Tater tots. Tater tots. Yeah, that's cool. It's interesting that they have an expandable module attached to a lander, Novus. Cool. Nice. That's really neat. I hate that. I hate that stupid armpit, man. I hate that clown. Bigelow? Bigelow doesn't exist is the end of that sentence. You. Vulcan, thank you for the top factoid. You guys know what I'm doing by doing this, right? So, I forget the exact reason, but just in case anybody wants to know. Let's see. So, Columbia has black wing streaks. My guess is because they weren't sure how plasma would flow over the top of the strake. So, it doesn't necessarily have black tiles on the wings. But Columbia did have some extra thermal elements on the top of the strakes. And they figured out that you didn't need it, and none of the other shuttles had it. So it's one of the things that you could tell Columbia apart from all the other vehicles because the strakes were black. See? Can we give those flags a panel texture? I mean, we could, Yarg, sure. Yeah, they put extra thermal elements up there on the top because they weren't sure, but yeah. I miss you. That's why I said I miss you. Miss that damn shuttle. It'd be really cool if we still had it. Stupid foam. Columbia was already up to 28 missions. 28 missions. Over 20 years. That's pretty damn good, man. I think it would look better than the solid black and gray. Yeah. Yeah, 118 went before 107. That's so sad. Yeah, that was a different shuttle, Connor. I mean, how many missions was this thing running a year? Columbia was basically down to running one mission a year, right? I mean, it ran 3 in 97 and 3 in 96. Damn, dude. So let's just say 2 missions a year for Columbia. And let's say, you know, the shuttle program basically got axed because of Columbia, which kind of sucks. But let's just say the shuttle flew until, I think they had, before Columbia, I think the shuttle was scheduled to fly until like 2020. They had it that far out. So you factor in like 2 missions a year, right? So 2003 all the way to 2020, right? So that's 17 years. So that's 34 more missions on top of 28. So that thing easily would have got up over, that airframe would have got up over 50 missions. 50 flights, which is really cool. That's really neat. I mean, Vulcan, even if you say 2015, I've heard 2020, I've read 2020 before, but yeah, they were manifested in 2015. I mean, if you want to take that as concrete, right? That's still over, I think that's over 50 missions. Like, let's see, 2004, no, that's 11 more years, so 11 times, there's 22 more missions, 22 and 28, boom, even 50. Cool. Columbia would have been retired in the mid-2000s, though, due to a lot of older components expiring that weren't feasible to replace in the fleet of Discovery. Atlantis and Endeavor would have taken the slack by flying 3 a year. I heard that's not what I heard, dude. I heard that Columbia was going to be refitted. They were going to put the glass cockpit in it. Or maybe it already had it. I forget. I don't know, dude. I'm running off not a lot of sleep. Today I learned the other shuttle was like 7,000 pounds lighter. Challenger was 3,000 pounds lighter than 102. I forget, Vulcan. I'm taking 5, Wheat. I'm taking 5, dude. We busted face, man. We're already 7 hours into this stream. I mean, the uptime for you guys isn't going to show because Twitch dipped for a second, but OBS is still telling me my uptime because, yeah, I didn't hit the stop button. Here, let's see. Welcome. Let's take a look here. Had Columbia not been destroyed, it would have been fitted with the external airlock and docking adapter for STS-118, an ISS assembly mission, originally planned for November 2003. Columbia was scheduled for this mission due to Discovery being out of service for its orbital major modification, and because the ISS assembly schedule could not be adhered to with only Endeavor and Atlantis. Columbia's career would have started to wind down after 118. It was going to service the Hubble telescope 2 more times in 2004 and 2005. Following STS-107, NASA flew the 125 mission using Atlantis, combining the planned 4th and 5th servicing missions into one Hubble mission. Because of the retirement of the Space Shuttle fleet, the batteries and gyroscopes that kept the telescope pointing will eventually fail. Yeah, okay. A soft capture docking mechanism based off of the docking adapter was to be used on the Orion spacecraft was installed during the last servicing. God damn it. Is there any possible way to save it? I mean, yeah, of course there was. But A, we have the benefit of hindsight. And B... Yeah, actually, it's the benefit of hindsight, dude. Yeah, there would have been a way to save it, Rocket Eyes, sure. But... that would have been... dangerous is what I'm thinking. You're kind of, dude, it's like I said, STS-107 is a freak accident. You could launch 1,000 more shuttles and that would never happen. I pretty damn confident in my analysis of the situation. But so after STS-107 launched, they knew something hit the thing. They knew something hit the thermal protection system. They couldn't figure out what it was, nor could they figure out if it was fatal or not. There's literally there's no way to know. There's no windows on the bottom of the shuttle. They didn't know. They never figured out how big that hole was or where it was exactly. They never figured it out. There's no way to know. How are you going to go down there and look? The shuttle wasn't designed to have people EVA on the underside. And second of all, it's not near the ISS, it's in a completely different orbit, and there's really no way to image the orbiter. They tried. So, they knew that something hit it, but they didn't know how bad it really was, right? But even if they did know that it was going to be terrible, like if it was going to be fatal during re-entry, even if they did know that. So... let's entertain the fact that maybe there's another shuttle. There was another shuttle ready to go. Atlantis was getting ready to go for its mission when Columbia was on orbit, right? That was the next shuttle to fly. The stack wasn't completely finished yet. So Columbia only had about 2 weeks up on orbit, right? They could have rushed the Atlantis stack. But here's the thing. You don't know what caused that problem. You don't know what caused the thermal. They couldn't figure it out. They didn't know what foam came off. That's going to take some time, and it's going to take some analysis. That's time and analysis that you don't have. Crew will run out of life support before you figure it out. So you're on a timer. You have to figure this out before the crew runs out of oxygen, right? Now, the kind of plus side is that they figured that out right at the beginning of launch. But do you rush Atlantis and go and launch it? What if the problem is not just inherent to Columbia? What if it's a problem with the shuttle? What is the problem with the system? And you go to launch Atlantis and the same thing happens. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't. They figured out that it was isolated to the STS-107 stack because it got scrubbed so many times. The foam started to do weird things because they tanked and detanked and tanked and detanked the external tank so many times it cracked the foam. And the foam came off during flight. So, like, what happens here? Do you send Atlantis up? Does Atlantis have that? What if it has the same problem? Now you stranded 2 shuttles in space and you're screwed. You know? What do we do? What do you do? There's nothing you could do. So, do you risk 7 more souls? Do you risk 2 more souls? Do you risk another orbiter? And even then, how do you get the crew out of Columbia? Columbia didn't have an airlock. We just read that it didn't. Didn't have an airlock in it. No airlock. They took it out when they decided the airlocks on the shuttles would be in the payload bay instead. Then send up Endeavor. Endeavor wasn't stacked. Yes. Atlantis was stacked. So you got to send up another shuttle with 2 souls, an airlock, some way to dock to Columbia. Columbia doesn't have any docking ports on it. There's no way to get out of it except the hatch, which means they needed to depressurize the cabin, something that it was never designed to do. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they could figure that out. But how do you dock? How do you get the 2 shuttles near each other? They would have to station keep or tether themselves to each other. Now you have 2 shuttles that are station keeping next to each other, shooting RCS at each other. The shuttles could easily just flip out of control, right? Station keeping like that with an orbiter is very resource intensive. That's why the Hubble Space Telescope missions are so damn dangerous, because you're at bingo fuel once you get up on orbit. You don't have a lot of maneuvering fuel to get over to that satellite. That's why they're so hardcore. That's why they were so dangerous. So now you got a station keep. And the shuttles have to stay next to each other, or you got to find a way to get them to tether to each other. So some adapter or something needed to be made so Atlantis could grapple onto Columbia's payload bay. I would assume they would use the payload base to do it. Now you got to design a bracket. Remember, you have 2 weeks. See what I mean? This is not... Well, like, what do you do? What do you freaking do? You just don't have enough time. Even if people work 24/7 around the clock, you still can't adapt something that quickly. So say you send Atlantis up with 2 people, all right? Okay, cool. Now you have to EVA to get the crew out of Columbia. How? There's no spacesuits on board Columbia. They have their aces. They have the pumpkin suits. So those suits are not designed to be in the vacuum for a long period of time. So they'd have to depress the cabin with the suits on and then find a way to EVA Polaris Dawn style to Atlantis. Once again, I'm not saying that can't be done. It can be done. You could do that. It would be dangerous, but you could do it. You'd have to tether the 2 shuttles together like the Gemini program. It was doable. You could have done that. Do you want to risk another shuttle? You don't know what the fault tree is. You don't know why Columbia has a hole in its heat shield. You don't know why that happened. They know that something came off the external tank. But they don't know if that problem is isolated to that ET, or if that problem is every external tank. If it's a manufacturing problem, or if it's a dynamic problem, like something that happened isolated to Columbia's external tank, right? You don't know. And honestly, the fault tree analysis there would take more than 2 weeks. That's the conundrum that they had. It was a hard... Dude, what do you do? Honestly, I think if they knew, they would have had to tell the crew. Realistically, you're not saving the orbiter. Yep. Yeah, you're screwed. What do? You're screwed. There's nothing you can do here. There's no favorable outcome. The only favorable outcome is sending Atlantis up there. And maybe send up Atlantis with enough to repair it. But even then, how are you going to repair Columbia? In order to do that, Atlantis and Columbia need to be docked to each other. And then you need to get somebody out on Atlantis's RMS and then try and fix something that's not supposed to be taken apart in space. Now you have to go picking apart the heat shield. I mean, they could have done that, maybe. But, once again, you only have a week. You'd have to get it right on the first try. You'd have to get it right with one shuttle sitting underneath the other one on orbit. And if one moves too far away, you're screwed. You run out of time. The crew on Columbia dies. There's just... It's a lose-lose, man. Hey, Adam, what's going on? Where did that piece of foam come from? Bipod, the forward bipod strut. It's so sad. That's why, there's nothing you can do. You know? You have to bring up the right tiles. You have to go start taking apart RCC. How are you going to glue the tile together on orbit? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that can't be done. It can be done.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Do you have the picture, Novus? Yeah, there we go. It can be done. But there's no scenario here where you're not drastically increasing risk and putting more lives in danger than the 7 that are already on board. I don't know, man. If it was me, I'd try to get Atlantis launched. You don't screw around with stuff like that. I brief the crew on the mission. Look, you're not doing this mission. You're going to Columbia. This is a dangerous mission. You could lose the orbiter. You could lose your life. Do you want to do this? If you say no, that's fine. That's what I would have done. If you risk 2 orbiters, screw it. You can build more orbiters. You can't build more crew. I'd send Atlantis if it was up to me, but I have the benefit of hindsight. They weren't even sure if it was a problem. Foam strikes had happened on Columbia before. Foam strikes happened. They really didn't think too much of it, and this is what I mean. We have the benefit of hindsight. Foam had come off. This problem had happened before, and it bounced off the TPS, and nothing happened. The shuttle came back just fine. Going to the ISS is an option? No, not enough fuel, Sun Temple. You're like a modern Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. Yeah, right at the flange of the inner tank and the LH2 tank. That's a pretty dynamic area. Yeah, Rev, exactly. They removed this bipod ramp after it, and the strut was kind of riding naked up into space because they got rid of it. Did you like the video from the other day? Yeah. Adam, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but yeah. Could the Russians help? How? With what? Soyuz? Okay, what's that gonna do? There's 7 people up there. You'd need to send 4 Soyuz up. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, Adam, but from what I saw, it was pretty cool. Robotic arm capture? I suppose you could dock robotic arm to robotic arm, but see, Chief, I don't think Columbia had an RMS on board. It had the EDO pallet and a space hab module. It was a science mission. I mean, Vulcan could RMS-1 or the shuttle RMS dock from one shuttle to the other? I don't think it can. It did have the RMS connection port, which can interface with the RMS hand. Yeah, Bon, that's right. They didn't know. They didn't think that the foam was causing a problem. They didn't think it was an issue. So they really didn't even think about all this. And this is what I mean about the benefit of hindsight, guys. They didn't think about all of this. Because they were like, it's all right. Columbia's fine. What do? Like, could it be a problem? Yeah. Like, dude, this is what I mean. Columbia is just a freak accident. It's just a freak accident. Like, that's... I will say this. You could launch 1,000 more space shuttles and that would never happen. It would never happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you could launch 1,000 space shuttles and everyone would be just fine. I'm sure if you launched 1,000 of them, some other problem would manifest itself somewhere else. I'm talking about a foam strike like that. That would never happen. Ever again. You could launch 1,000 more. It would never happen. Yeah, I'm not sure, Crash. Ditch the lab to free up the docking port. There's no docking port, lols. There's no docking port module. There's nothing, there's no docking port. They didn't go to the ISS rocket. They were in, Columbia was in a 27-degree inclined orbit. It wasn't at the ISS. It was on its own mission. And even then, you can't do a 25-degree on-orbit plane change like that. That's not how that works. You would need 10,000 meters a second delta V to get to the ISS from Columbia's orbit. The ohms pods on the shuttle have like 500. Yeah, not even close. I like the music. What's this music? Kerbal. Yeah, Euchreman, I'll get back to playing Kerbal in a second. I busted out about 7 hours of shuttle work here. I'm just taking 5 real quick. So I guess a less aggressive descent profile was no option. That's the thing, City. The shuttle already flies on a very shallow re-entry. Yeah, it already flies on a shallow re-entry, dude. There's like... I've read the accident investigation report multiple times, guys. There's legitimately like nothing they could have done. Like, it's just a freak accident, dude. It sucks. All right. That's why I said short answer. No. Yep. It sucks, man. Loopy, the crazy part, we're only at 395 parts. Seriously. We're under 400 with the panels the way they are right now. I ain't even mad. You know what I'm saying? Ready for testing? No. No, not at all. Testing? No. We're not. We are not there for testing. How's the arrow looking? We don't have the bottom, fellas. I could probably, we could probably shave more parts off by putting the wings up here, but yeah, we gotta put wings up here. That's the thing. We gotta put them up there. I just gotta figure out how we're gonna do all that. How do you plan to do that, Mr. Dufresne, if you please? Panels look really good, though. I mean, look at that, dude. Look at that thing. Just. Oh. We just gotta get the bottom, man. We just gotta get the bottom, and this thing will look amazing. Playoffs? Talking about winning another game. We're talking about playoffs. Lorge. The bottom is the easiest part compared to the straight nose and the wings. You're not wrong. Are you sure this is a game? Yeah, it's a playoff game. Jim Bajian gave a lecture to my systems engineering class a few weeks ago and talked about the accidents. He had a lot to say about how you manage that kind of risk internally and even managing public exception. Truth is, everyone was convinced that both Challenger and Columbia would be okay. It's mistakes at every level. It feeds further into my theory is that the shuttle program, pretty much through its entire career, was managed like trash. Like trash. I don't think there's anything wrong with the shuttle's design. There, I said it. Hey, Matt, thanks for the raid. Are you going to tile the whole bottom? Nah, Deke, we don't have the parts to do it. For reference, Jim was on the Augustine Commission, flew on the shuttle, and dove to recover the Challenger crew. Oh. Hey, Matt, what's going on? Thanks for the raid. Heyo. What's up, dude? Look. What do you think? We just got to do the underside, man. But this thing. Had to pop in and see how she was coming along, dude. We're gonna actually get this thing done in time. I'm pretty damn sure. Pretty nuts, huh? Look at that. That looks mint. Flags with the tile texture for coloring seem like the way to go for the bottom visually. Yeah, I gotta put wings down there, but there's nothing saying. I mean, flags are physics-less parts. There's nothing saying we couldn't just, you know, do that. I mean, Hellfish, yeah, if you want to reduce it to its base element, yeah, dude. Couple of wings to close up the gaps on the bottom. Dude, the finish line is in sight. Yep. Let's go give ourselves some motivation. Finish the wings. Finish the belly. We gotta finish the belly. Alright, so I think there's some room here for some optimization. Honestly. Are you going to add a probe core for unkerbal missions? Eventually, ECO, yeah. Still using mods? Talkative, yeah. Look at chat. Yeah, but they're physics-less 95, so don't get me wrong, their parts are parts, but the physics-less parts won't bog down your simulation as much as other parts. Triangle tessellated TPS flag could be good. Just literally make one big flag with just that repeating texture on it. I mean, dude, you could do it. You could do it. But I need wings up here, guys. That's what we need. We need wings. And honestly, because part count, I'm just leaving the back of the shuttle the way it is. The only exception is probably I might mess with the panels a little bit. So let's get to it. Also, my old wall wing design here is not needed. We don't need these, so get rid of that. Get rid of that. See, we can cut parts out of the design here because we only need the two wings right there and right there. So 1, 2, 3. So we can get rid of that because it's not there. You didn't see it because it isn't there. And that just cut 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 parts out of the design that we did. We don't need those parts. They're not needed. And then I could optimize over here as well. We could put panels back here. Or just a flag or something, because we don't need that. Those wings are clipping into each other. They didn't remove the foam entirely post-Columbia. They reduced it and added heaters and thermal isolators to prevent buildup. Oh. Novus, may I ask why the bipod ramp was there in the first place? Why would you do that? What's the like, what are you trying to do with this? Arrow? Better arrow over this thing? It's like a fairing, right? For... I mean, surely you're not... Surely, like, this... Like, that's not going to be that big of a deal. It might be for thermal. Jordan, hey, just finished up my first week at GE Aerospace. Nice, man. Let's make it fly. We can do the flags visually later if we want to. Agreed, Yargles. Let's get her done. You stop heat leak into the LH2 tank and an ice buildup on the bipod. Ah, that's right. Yeah, because, yeah, you have metal, unprotected metal touching the external... Yeah. Friggin' hydrogen, man. Frickin' hydrogen. What are you gonna do? Well, if it's a little brick, that would be accurate. I mean, JBS, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that gluing a bunch of panels to the bottom of your shuttle is going to make it fly better. It's true. Are we going to do any testing before it's fully done? I gotta get the arrow shell figured out, Spacephobic, but if we belt this out now, we might even get into some testing tonight. Bear with me. Alright, get rid of that. Why is there a bear with you? Yes. Okay, we do need that piece there. But I remember we figured out some hierarchical problems with the aft end of the orbiter, but we'll get that, we'll mess with that in a moment. Yeah, we should. See, those strakes don't need to be there either. And yeah, obviously none of this stuff is auto-strutted, or strutted at all, I don't think. Yep. You need the wings to be in the front. Yeah. Alright, let's talk. I'm getting tired, so let's talk ourselves through this. How do we want to do it? So first of all, I'm seeing some weird things here. What is this? And why is it doing that? If that's the case, do I need that panel there? Yes, we do. There was a little bit of a panel overlap there. Get rid of that. Start with the front and go to the back. The front will be difficult to get right. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Extend the one with the big plate on the bottom middle. Oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Oh, there's just that one little piece of crap right there, man. Damn. Maybe push that as far forward, you could replace some small triangles. Nah, it's really not the right angle. We were already there. We already messed with that. All right, let's dump that for now. The reason why I like keeping these here, we don't necessarily need these panels here. We might be able to go with something a little bit different. What's a long might be able to get away with an I-beam, a couple of I-beams here, and then put bigger wings in the front. Push the squares forward. Yeah, I already did. I already pushed them forward a little bit, dudes. These are for the aft integration ports. I actually have a little bit of Kraken tech holding this thing in position. Or I will with the external tank. That's something I want to actually keep. Yep, cool. In reality, the doors for the ET attachment don't open like this. They open like this, not like this. This or like this. These are not the doors of a billionaire, Richard. The ramp itself is for aero as sharp geometry changes creates a point below the geometry with really intense heating causing ablation of the TPS in a localized area. I'm designing this Phoenix with reintegration in mind. We're just not gonna make it. But I will give it the ability to, because, you know, why not? And if anything, designing it for that's gonna make it stronger. So did the shuttle's body flap actually provide pitch during re-entry and landing? It's to shim... Yeah, Nova, it's there to shim payloads. Because your center of mass is going to be a little bit dynamic during re-entry. Because the shuttle's designed to come down with a bunch of different sizes and shapes of payloads. So you trim out the body flap to compensate for that. To compensate for your payload center of mass and your... to compensate for your payload center of mass and the shuttle center of mass being not near each other. Or when I say not near each other, I mean like maybe this much of a difference. And yeah, these are the ET reintegration points, man. I'll put them in, dude, because, you know, why not? Oop, hey, come back now. Another tidbit from the symposium you'd like. To be honest, I kind of wish we wound up developing spacecraft via the X-15 and the Dinosaur, like we would have if it wasn't a time crunch. Imagine something like an upscaled A12. Yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, Skylons should be happening. Will you in-flight test? Yeah, Baked Bean. I'll in-flight test when it's ready. I can't I can't fly a vehicle with no wings. Human missions to Mars, scientific missions to the outer solar system, commerce for Leo beyond, commerce beyond low Earth orbit for ISRU. Interesting. Okay. So, those, I'll end up making those the root part here. Let's see. Here's the issue that we're going to run into with these things. There. Let's see, that's not completely lined up with the stupid panels. There. We'll just average it. It'll look okay. I'm not too happy about it, but we don't have any parts left. We don't have any parts. Hey Loppy, how are you? Lopister, what's up? Really don't have many parts left. Okay, also, could you pull the SVI toggle method for the integration point where you phase the ball through? I mean, if we had these... Frick! Damn it! I don't know why I'm getting frustrated. There's no need to be upset. I misclicked again. I was asking how. Oh, okay, Bake. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, starting to have trouble keeping everything in my head correct. Alright, just get rid of that stupid thing for now. Okay, so how will I test it? I don't know, dude. Maybe we'll lop it off the back of the 7.4. I already have a 7.4, and if I'm using the same integration points, it should work. Same integration points, same distance from each other. It should all come together. That shouldn't be an issue. You know? Should. Are we gonna save parts? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can come up with a better system than just a bunch of panels with separated wings stacked on top of each other. My gut is telling me to just take this and copy it and put it right there, but that would be like another 100 parts. I don't want that. You know? I don't want it. Just start placing wings. Alright, give me a second. Good as I'd like to see you do that. All right. Right on, Bake. What's up, Boo? How are you? You could also just test via console. Yarg, engineering mode saves are back on the table, so yeah, we just need to... Dude, if we just need to put some jet engines somewhere and just... Or just put it on a rocket and just send it up and then separate and then try to fly it, we can do that too. That would be fun. It would be a good time. Good, how have you been? Missed you streaming. I'm good. Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, I can't complain. Wonder how the mass is compared to NG. Why didn't the shuttle use F1 boosters? Where would it have used F1 boosters, Nova? Like, what would it have used those for? Turbos. Okay. My cousin lives in Colorado. He came to Ohio to visit family. He saw my SpaceX keychain. He said, "What is that?" Come to find out, he works at Blorgen. Oh, cool, Boo. Honestly, the SRB and ET was a really bad design choice. It was cheap. Hard disagree. Hard disagree, Prey. How else are you going to do that? What's a simpler way to employ that in mass? It's not a bad idea when you think about it. If you employed it in scale, it would work just fine. There's nothing wrong with that design. I mean, the only thing I would really want more than that is to bring the external tank back, which means you need to combine the shuttle and the ET into one vehicle. I don't know how the heck they would have done that. F1 boosters instead of solids, you would need basically 2 Saturn V first stages on the sides of the external tank with 3 F1 engines each to really mimic the SRBs. That's a lot of moving parts to replace 2. Oh, you said, yeah, base design choice. Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I misread. See, that's how you know my brain's starting to get scrambled. It doesn't, Aqualex. I just didn't read it right. Yeah, no, Prey, I'm with you. This design is unbelievably good for what it is. So the Buran was a bad design? No, Energy is great. If you want to pay double the price for a shuttle launch, sure. Sorry, Prey. Yeah, no, you're right. I agree with you. I just can't read. So you know, I'm like, my brain's... Dude, seriously. I've been putting so much time into this. Like, my brain's like... lately. Doesn't you know the feeling? Yeah, your brain just gets to that point where you're like, no, I'm good. No, nope, nope, nope. You know what? No, I'm not good. I know, guys, yeah, no, I know what base means. I get it. Yeah. I was saying that in like 2004. It's not Zoomer language. Was using the Gemini capsule and the use of hypergalls on the Crew Titan 2 poor choices. Considering nobody ever... I mean, I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Like... You were not saying that in 2004. No way. Nuffly, can I go back to making my shuttle, please? Where are those panels that I put? Oh. Flags on the bottom? No. Okay, save. No, I haven't tried that yet. I need wings, dude. We don't have enough wings. And second part of that is, well, our center of lift is terrible. This thing will fly good once. That's where my center of lift, that's what it needs to be. That's where it needs to be, but when the shuttle is like this, I need my center of lift over there. Which is, yeah. Time for a glide test. Just yeah, bear with me on that one. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of those, and I think I might put panels back here or something. Wisp, get out of here. Hey Dave, what's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, those are wings that we don't need. I mean, of course this thing's going to generate a ton of body lift up front, but even all the body lift force acting on this is not going to move that far. I know that. Yeah, the double stack delta wings might not work. I have two of these big delta wings stacked on top of each other to get the shape that I want, and that might not. We might have to do something else. What's killing it, if you don't mind asking? Oh, nothing. Nothing. Here, look. All right, here. You know what? That's probably a good place to start. Watch. So. Let's take these, attach these things to the payload area, and let's figure out how much wing we're going to actually need here. So let's just do that, right? And just move these up here somewhere. Ready? Ideally, where would this have to be to get this lined up correctly? Okay. All right. Now remove the big delta wing. Let me save first. Yep. Ain't something I didn't know. That was words. It's because I double stacked the wings. But you guys got to remember, all we have to do is get it close enough. All these panels and all these parts that are up in the front are going to cause insane body lift. I mean, the fairings too. There's two fairings in there. I have a fairing inside of the shuttle bay to simulate where the mid deck would be, and it has a crew tank in it, right? So this shuttle has the capacity to move 7. Just like the real one. I mean, I could move 8, but the real shuttle moved 8, but that was only once. So we got to think about a wing configuration up here that's going to get us more what we're looking for. So what I could do is take this out. We could get rid of that, right? And we can replace that with panels later. That's doable. We need that piece, we need that piece, and we need that piece, because that's that piece, and that piece. So those need to stay there. Which is fine. That's okay. What was the story with that 8 when it moved 8? I forget. 61A was the 9th and last successful flight of the Space Shuttle Challenger 61. No. Okay, cool. No. So STS-61A holds the current record for largest crew, 8 people aboard any single spacecraft for an entire period from launch to landing. Payload operations would control from the German Space Operations Center at Oberfallenhofen, West Germany. Instead of from the regular NASA Control Center, this was the first space flight to include multiple crews from any single country other than the United States or Soviet Union. Yeah, Wubbo was on there. Ernst Messerschmidt. Und Reinhard Föhrer. Yeah. Guion Bluford was on there. Henry Hartsfield, Steve Nagel, Bonnie Dunbar, James Buckley. Cool. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. 8-person crew. Wubbo sporting the gnarliest mustache known to man. That guy was a famous Dutch scientist. He unfortunately is no longer with us. Neither is Henry Hartsfield. Actually, a lot of these people are dead. Look, this is Space Shuttle. It's a very nice shuttle. Nice, Goltech. That's cool. How are we gonna do this? See, I have an ace card up my sleeve. I can put wings at the front, and we can angle them slightly up. Angling slightly up like that will really pull that center of lift forward. Couple that with the body lift, we should be home free. Home free. Like a bird. You gotta get in with the papa. You get in with the papa, you home free. Home free. Like a bird. A man walks into a restaurant, chat. He orders a bowl of soup. He tastes the soup. He goes to the waiter. He goes, waiter, over here. Will you taste the soup? He goes, why? Is something wrong with the soup? Is this... He goes, no. Would you just taste the soup? He goes, why? What's wrong? What's wrong? Is the soup too cold? He goes, would you just taste the soup? Why? Is the soup too hot? Would you just taste the soup? All right. I'll taste this soup. Where's the spoon? Aha. Aha. What do you know from funny, chat? What? Stop. I'm tired. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It was funny. Come on. There is no spoon? Wait, wrong movie? Oh. Wings at the front. That sounds an awful lot like a canard. Man, I really, really wish I just went back to ignoring your sea lasts and just building. That way we could have, you know, avoided this whole thing that just happened. Who? Go to 319. Yeah, Firefly. I've seen it, dude. Still funny, dude. And some guy, wow. You know you've made it big when Zoomers are reacting to your reaction of a rocket launch. Does that mean I'm legit, chat? I don't know. Zoomers are reacting to you? Yeah. Hi, Sam. Thanks. It's like the time you dropped the transmission. What? How is that like the... Yeah, I made it to reaction content on YouTube. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I hate myself. What? All right, it looks like if I strake this out a little bit more, we could actually get this kind of... Wings look thick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. Yeah, Hammer Nails, you like it? Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I'm pretty happy with it. And what's going on? Wow, looking good. You, EJ, not the shuttle. Boo, who is that guy? Who is that? What's that? What does that dude do for funsies? Needed to cross strut it for support. Yeah, I haven't even run struts yet. That's what I mean about saving parts, lols. Nothing is strutted on this thing. We put this thing out on the runway, it'll just fall apart. I'll probably do it when we finish it just because chat wants to see it and it'd be funny. But yeah, the strakes here can work. Say goodnight, Floppy. I'm almost wondering if we should replace that top delta wing with this, like, because I'll be honest, you know what? All right, here, get rid of that. Just before we go and do that, Any chance we might need to see some Nerva payloads? We'll see whatever I'm feeling, dude. Alright.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
So, give me those. Get rid of these. Let's see what the double strakes here is going to do. Let me just finish building this. Let's see what it does. Let's put those right there. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. Oh, yeah. Damn, boy. Damn.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Ernock button. Thank you for press button. You very nice guy. For press button, yes. You very nice guy to press a button for me. Give me money. Thank you, Gypsy. I appreciate it. There we go. Why is it doing that? So you're gonna stream KSP 2 on early access release day? Nah, boo. I don't plan on playing Kerbal 2 ever. Great success. Can I ask why? It's mostly because I hate you. Okay, bye. No, of course I'm gonna play, dude. Yeah, absolutely. I've been talking with the lead developers in private little chit chats about the game and stuff. Hopefully we have some, you know, cool stuff for us to check out. See your last. Why? Last, please, no trolling. Are you going to redo the whole ET and SRBs as well? Yes. We work on the stack next week, Hip. Yeah, Phoenix, it's okay. There will be other Firefly launches. We'll get more of them. I think the shuttle be on the finish. The shuttle should be on the finish line for the KSP2 editor. If we can get it actually correct to your standards with only the stock parts and in the editor tools without insane levels of tessellation, that'll be a 100 score for you. Okay. You should assemble a team to have missions with. Pick you. Boo, I told you, I'm not picking you. I don't like you. Gee. No, I don't know. Dude, it really depends on... Okay, bye. No, where are you going? Come back. No, I was just kidding. Just come back. I don't know. It really depends on how they implement multiplayer, to be honest with you. Is it going to be massive multiplayer? They only have 4 launch pads. We know that. So is it going to be only up to 4 players? Like, can 2 people control different crafts? How's multiplayer going to get implemented? It really depends. Is it going to be like a Minecraft server where anyone can just jump in and be like, you know, like, or is it going to be peer-to-peer? Like, how's the infrastructure going to work? It really depends. In KSP2 multiplayer, could I be the F-18 escorting you to the runway? Okay, Aqualux. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I know. What was the website for viewing part hierarchy? Theix.co.uk. Make sure to give Theix coffee, please, so we can make more awesome hierarchy editors. I've been looking for a way to bring Steam games to esports. So if they have multiplayer, I'm going to make that happen. Steam? Kerbal's already on Steam, Duck. Oh, STEM. Oh, okay. I feel like they would have to count the amount of players in a multiplayer session, otherwise physics could potentially get really janky. Yeah, Tom, it's a hard thing to solve. Oh. Science, tech, engineering, arts, and math. Arts? Yeah, I get it. I hate Steam that's saying I don't like it. I just call it STEM. I understand what, though I will say, Doc, I understand why people say Steam. I think that engineering and art are close to each other, but it's more a Venn diagram than being included, you know what I mean? Science, technology, engineering, and math and arts are over here, and they're in a Venn diagram, and they overlap a little bit. But I wouldn't call arts, I wouldn't rope arts in with STEM. Gotta have the design element to the build. Oh, no doubt, yeah. But, dude, take it from somebody with an art degree, okay? Engineering is not the same. It's not the same. Like, liberal arts degree over here, not the same thing. Not even close. Like, I've done both of those things. Nah, engineering's a different mindset than art. But I will say that, you know, if you're gonna paint a painting or something, like a Bob Ross painting, there's a fundamental process for it. There's a process flow. It's similar to engineering. It's a similar mindset, but it's not. I wouldn't rope arts in with engineering. I don't like it when people do that. And that's, once again, coming from a liberal arts guy. Like, that's what I went to school for. Computer animation, video games, 3D art, 2D art, stuff like that, film. You know? All I'm saying is Ligma Johnson had it coming. Oh no, I was going to be an engineer before I got roped into esports. Dude, we gotta... Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, how would you... Do you think people would get... Do you think people would like Kerbal esports? Like, what would that look like? We did have another idea that dogfighting in Kerbal. How cool would it be to play like a game like War Thunder, right? But you have to build your damn fighter plane. So think like BattleBots, but with planes in KSP. That would basically what Scott's doing, Lulz. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Project Runway. That's the exact thing that Scott's doing. He invited me to do that and I forgot because I'm an idiot. He invited me to be a judge on it and I forgot because I'm a moron. So Rocket League, yeah, exactly. Kerbal Esports Scrap Heap Challenge, yeah, there you go. So I had a whole plan designed for a program around it to see if I could find. Oh, okay. Yeah, Sido, exactly. I don't know if we could get that to take off, dude. But yeah. Think of Farm Sim Esports. What? Why would... I don't want to. Farm Sim Esports. What are you gonna do? Beat the other guy to harvest? Oh, I harvested my corn before you did. Oh, here's the tumultuous part where we watch the corn grow. Yes! Oh my god. I'm not sure why I take the thing, if I move it like this, and then I place it, and then the center of lift moves back. I wonder what the heck that's about. Competitions like relay arrays where you get points for equidistance, orbit, and symmetry? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's corn. Really, Storm. Interesting. You're starting to sound a lot like someone who doesn't know the first thing about corn or propane accessories. I'm from the city, man. What do you want from me? They race to harvest and bale an entire field into hay bales. That's kind of cool, Phoenix. Yeah. Farming sim esports is huge, from what the guys told you. No. Okay, alright, I can see that. That's fair. Does it reset if you reload? I don't know, I'd have to look. Why use the wing instead of more tiles for the belly? Because I need wings up front, Ryan. We have too much wing in the back. Center lift needs to be going through the center of mass for a re-entry vehicle. That's it's a really important thing. That doesn't so much matter with capsules, but it absolutely matters with shuttles. Dream Chaser, X-37, Space Shuttle, Buran. They all have center of lift going through the center of mass. That's really important. Because think about it when I'm going through re-entry. Think about when I'm going through re-entry like this. See where my center of lift is? The shuttle's going to want to nose down when I'm going through re-entry at 45 degrees like this. It's going to want to... See that? That's why darts sucked. Because I didn't get the center of lift and center of mass lined up. I forgot. Because I hadn't built a shuttle in a long time when we went to make dart, right? See that right there? Then you're going to need the RCS to compensate for this. You don't want that. The RCS shouldn't be used to compensate. That's like using a control surface and trimming a control surface out like 30 degrees to get a plane to fly straight. That's bad design. So that's why the reason is because we have 2 delta wings in the back. I have another delta wing right here, and I stacked 2 of them on top of each other because I thought it'd be cool. But from what I can tell here, that this might not be the best way to do it. And the reason is because, yeah, I would need more wings up front. Is the wing clipped into the cargo bay, making the game calculate for including the wing? I don't think so. You live in the woods now. Get used to the damn country. Yeah. That should not be included. That one actually might be. It might be a little bit included. But that's at the back. We want that to be included, actually, because we don't want double wing. Just stick some canards on it? Dude, I don't think canards are going to do us any favors here. See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. You know what's going to fix it? You know what would get it in line? Literally, not even that. Not even putting those there. Ugh, kill it. Just freaking end it, man. That looks horrible. Ship it! I'm actually noticing that our center of mass is really not good either. We're too heavy. It's too heavy out back. Interestingly enough. Hammerhead, yeah, toe, right? Yeah, she's actually too heavy. This thing's... Here, let me see. Does it change? Yeah, it's not the game or anything. A wing is being included. It's that one. Alright, let's hit save, and then let's delete that. And then delete that as well. Don't hit save again. Hey! Damn you! Ballast in the nose to bring the center of mass forward. Get out. Get doors over there. Ballast. Bro, what the hell's the matter with you? Nah, Geek, in reality, I don't have any of the forward fuel tanks or anything up and running right now. I don't have the forward RCS tanks, the forward fuel RCS tanks. They ain't dialed in. Yeah, guys, in reality, the space shuttle's center of mass is actually... And it's crazy because even with all these damn panels and everything, even with all the stupid panels, it's still not in the right spot. Yeah, see, the landing gear is right where it lined up with the end of United right there. That means the center of mass is out in front of it somewhere. Center of mass should be right here in the middle of the third payload bay segment. See how there's kind of like 4 segments here? That's where the COM should be, and that's where your COLs should be. That's the balanced design. We're actually too heavy. Like, way too heavy. Didn't you have a center of mass issue on your other shuttle? Not really. But yeah, we'd have to put more stuff up in the front of the orbiter to get that center of mass aligned. What wing is doing that? I don't understand. Monoprop tanks? I'll be using verniers up front, Kyron, so, yeah, not monoprop. The space shuttle uses verniers. It does not have monoprop. It doesn't use monoprop with a catalyst. They use monomethylhydrazine and nitrogen tetroxide. Alright, get rid of that. I had that for testing. There definitely is a wing that's being occluded somewhere with the payload bay. It might be that one. I thought you wanted the center of mass a little in front of the COL on a space plane. No, that's on a regular plane. Ian, I got your email. Thank you. I gotta follow up emails, man. Behind. What is this? What happened to the wing? We had too much wing in the back, RJ. Yeah, she's no good. Too much wing. Yeah, okay, so it's not really center, it's more over the U, from what I can tell here. I mean, who knows if this is accurate, but this does look like it might more or less be an engineering document. How did I figure it out? How did I figure what out? That it had too much wing. The center of lift. Center lift's all screwed up, dude. Toyota Strunk to pull the shuttle. Use structural landmarks instead of graphics. Third payload bay hinge. We don't have those. It looks like, I mean, dude, it's got to be, I know it's got to be over here. It's got to be over here somewhere. It's got to be right in this area here. That's where it needs to be. I ideally would want up here, but right there would work too. That's fine. You don't see birds towing shuttles, just saying. Yeah. Explain. You know what the fun part is? That Super Duty right there, that F350 or F450. It's an F450 because of the rims. That could pull that, the Dream Chaser, the Toyota Tundra, and the Space Shuttle. It probably could pull all of that. Yeah, pretty sure it could. I agree, Louiso. Yeah, we'll get all the auxiliary systems in there. Also, frick Toyota, and frick you for liking Toyota. How about that? Boom, it's an American space shuttle. It should be towed by an American truck. No, I don't want to hear that. But Egypt, the Tundras are made here. No, shut up. Shh. That has more American parts. I don't care. Should be towed by a Ford. Bird. Yeah, the Super Duty will rip your truck in half. It will. Let's not just pretend physics don't exist. Anyway, I'm done giving you guys crap. Let's go back to this. So I'm gonna figure this out. This needs to be up there. Yeah. The double deltas were not doing us any favors, man. Which really sucks, but it is what it be. I'm just not exactly sure how we're gonna fix it. It sucks because that looked really, really nice. It looked really cool with the double deltas. Yeah, see, that's where I need the center of lift to be. Rotate the main wing a bit. No, Louisa. This is all. Nothing else is moving. You only add. Don't. Yeah, we don't want to mess this up too much. But you were right about adding the other components. Maybe I'm just starting to get tired. I don't mind what we have going on here. That's actually pretty cool. Canards, my dude. Ugh. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Ugh. Kennard tipped $100. Do it. No. Thanks for the money, though. No, I don't think I will. I'm starting to be a dick. That's how you know I'm getting really tired.
Go and throttle up.
No refund. Thank you for the tip. I do appreciate it. I'm not putting canards on it. Seriously, though. Oh my god. I'm starting to get tired. Alright, I think we put in enough time today. Why do you hate canards so much? Because using canards to compensate for the fact that you don't know how to balance a design correctly is a really bad habit to get into. You try to make the strakes bigger. Luizo, it's scaled. It's scale size, and for the love of God, please don't make me try to tessellate stuff again. That's just, see, I'm already noticing problems with this. Might be useful too. Yeah. Yeah, we'll let me add that to my collection. Yeah, these are the profiles. Sweet. Yeah, you know what? I'll put that in my shuttle research pictures. Ruski? Hypermagnet. You get nothing. Good day, sir. Kenwa, 21-month resub. Thank you. Yeah, see, check this out, fellas. So, what we're going to have to do is, see, look. See all these tanks up in here? All the systems that weren't the main engines on the space shuttle were shoehorned as far forward as possible. Look at all this junk that's kind of all in the front. Yeah, see how empty it is back there? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not empty back there. There's a lot of stuff. That's the inside. There's a lot of stuff in there. But yeah. The APUs and the flash boilers are in the back, and that's about it. Yep. 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 I gotta figure out what the hell we're gonna do here. Oh my gosh, I can see through it. There's a hole. There's a hole in my shit. Now, you know what? That's a bad joke. Let's not make that joke. Screw that. Guys, it's time for racing anyway. We got a nice Le Mans race tonight. So, how does she look? I really wish we could have kept the double delta. That was really nice, and it wasn't a lot of parts, but yeah, it really came together, dudes. You racing lemons? No, Le Mans. If engines would have failed during ascent, was there an emergency plan to decouple and land the shuttle? Yeah, it's called RTLS, Return to Launch Site. Yep. It's pretty much a death sentence. Yeah, it's pretty much a death sentence. Shuttle doesn't fly too well with a full payload bay. The auxiliary systems may solve the center of mass issue, but does not fix the lift problem. Yeah, not making the bottom of the strake out of wings is kind of coming back to haunt us a little bit. But I disagree. I think we can solve it. Here, look, I'll show you what I mean. You know, if we go in here and you throw something like that in there, right? And then you throw something like this in here. Right? Now that doesn't look too good, right? So, hey, classed! Gifted us up to Tetraprong. Thank you. See, that doesn't look too good, but like I said, we got an ace card up our sleeve. The ace card is being able to tilt this forward. Got to match the profile of the shuttle, right? So we can tilt this sucker forward like that. And then you could do the same thing with this, with the small boy. See what I mean? That gets us closer. Gets us closer. Use the double delta, just need to adjust the strakes a bit. That solves everything. No, I'm all right. You could even go up here like this. To get the thing to understand what's going on. You know, we could put that basically right there. If you notice, it's like clipping, so you gotta take that and put that up there like that. Yeah, see? That's actually too much. Damn. Yeah, if we do that, we've get the wing thing figured out. Cool. Actually, if I put the delta back on, that actually might fix it. Who knows? We'll finish this tomorrow. Let's just take that off because I'll forget that that's in there. This is close, guys. We're honing in on it. It's getting there. Yeah. I gotta clean this up. I don't like how stuff's flipping through and everything. It doesn't look good next to how clean that is. No Minecraft tomorrow. No. Schedule's cleared. No, I'm playing no other games except for racing. So. The top of the strake is fine. The bottom can be tweaked. Yeah, Luzo, I guess I'm not making myself clear enough. I'm not touching the strakes. I'm touching what I can change, and not what I can't change. Yeah, no, like I don't think you're understanding. That's fine. I'm not touching them. I will not touch the strakes. We'll mess with this wing configuration down here, and we'll go from there, dude. How long will it take you to do the ET? Honestly, the stack's not going to take long, but I'll budget all of next week for it, dude. Next week, fellas, on a side note, I'm streaming on Monday. So next week, I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And no Friday, Saturday. I have a wedding that I have to go to. I'm sorry, it's short notice. I've got to tell you guys. So, yeah, we'll take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll shore up anything with this thing and go from there. The stack's not hard. Getting the boosters right is going to be the difficult part, and then getting the fuel drain with the ET. Other than that, it's just making it look nice. But yeah, huge progress today. Where did we start? What did this thing look like when we started today? Just out of curiosity. We started with Proto 3, I think. Aren't you supposed to be done by Tuesday, though, or am I crazy? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I am. So, we got another long stream tomorrow. I'm basically streaming from 11 to 11 and then playing GTA tomorrow. I got 12 hours. Should be enough. Cindy and Housewares requested off before you. Yep, well, you're gonna have to work. I mean, Platinum, we're, like I said, we're making some pretty damn good progress here. Like, this is, yeah. Where are we on? Proto 6? Proto 6 is what we were messing with. I'll leave that there as to remind me what we were up to. Yeah, you know, guys, I think we're at a point, just on a side note, I think we're at a point where we, I need to start finalizing this stuff. Well, I'll start putting in all those systems. We'll put in the payload bay brackets and everything. Get the like Louisa, what you said before, getting the balance and everything, getting the probe core in there, batteries in the right spots, fuel cells in the right spots. The vernier fuel tanks. Yeah, getting all that figured out. Yeah, we'll start outfitting the shuttle. I'll just start at the nose and start putting in all the equipment that I need, and then we'll see where the chips fall. And then I'll make the wings. I'll do the wings as best as I can. Yeah, we'll get the wings done as best as we can. It sucks because, yeah, that wing there was cool. And, yeah, we got to get that center of mass just a little bit more forward. Let me just see kind of how much mass we do need to add. I'll check that. That's last thing we'll do. So, this thing... No. Get rid of that. That thing right here fully... So it's 4974. 43,974. So that's 3 tons of whatever. Right? So if we move it this way, that's where our center of mass is. We need to add 3 tons, and it needs to be... I'm not going to add ballast tanks. All the other components that we need to add will get us where we need. Okay. Okay. Yeah, about 3 tons. It's not going to take much. We could put 3 tons of stuff in here. That's no problem. What did we decide for the wing? I'm back and it looks skinny. I had 2 deltas stacked on top of each other. And it looked awesome, but I don't... The 2 wings stacked on top of each other are... Moved my center of lift too far back, and I don't think I'll be able to work the underside enough to get it to work correctly. Hey, so quick proposal for your shuttle. Replace the rest of the stack with a single full-length AJ260. What's your stream plan for tomorrow? Start at 11? Is clipping a wing possible? I don't really want to do that if I can help it, but yeah, we can, you know. You can also automatically trim the shuttle, moving the body flap. Thank you. You're useless. I appreciate it. It's close. We're close. We're close. That's almost right. We're getting there. It's not using it with KOS. Yeah, but if you have to trim the thing just to get it to fly right, with no payload in the payload bay, that's terrible. That's the Band-Aid fix. Now, if you're saying you trim, you know, it could fly right with the body flap straight, and then you trimmed it to compensate for payload, that's a different story. Hey, Tweets, what's going on? I've been busy. I haven't watched lately. What are you up to? I'm rebuilding Collins for a new mission mode save where I just want to go back to playing Kerbal circa 20, how I did circa 2014. So, original mission mode rules, no reverts, just play. What if we replace some of the front panels with Aero? I mean, yeah, we're going to have to figure out a balancing act, Pop. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow, guys. It's time for racing. I am not going to race good tonight. My brain's toast. But we'll do it anyway. Guys, I'm about to race about to basically do Eric Johnson Le Mans series, EJLMS, on a glorified Hot Wheels track. So that should be fun. Yeah, if I had just gotten Dart to get the center of lift and center of mass lined up, man, then it would have been really nice. It would have been a great little launch vehicle. Wouldn't you get all the body lift from the triangles that's not shown here? I'm taking that into account, dude. Yeah. Yeah, or at least I'm trying to approximate, right? But yeah, I mean, it might just, dude, it might just be as simple. Like, guys, I'll be 100% honest. Maybe we should just go to outfitting. Maybe we should just go to outfitting with this design. With the double deltas. Maybe we should. Maybe it'll all come into balance. You know what? I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take Proto 6 just so I don't get confused and deleted. The double delta, yeah, it looks amazing, Yarg. It's almost like it would be almost a shame not to do it, right? Like, gotta do it. I should be able to figure out a way to get it right. I'm just worried that it might not. But, I mean, with the body lift, it might compensate. I mean, we do have a fairing up there. We have 2 fairings up in the front, so it might do it. It's possible. You know? Yeah. All right. Let's outfit Proto 5. That's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll start outfitting systems, and we'll see where it takes us. Should be, yeah, we should get a flight with this thing tomorrow if we did everything right. Yeah, we're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to start strutting everything and... Yeah, we're gonna have to start strutting all this stuff, and once we do, yeah, we'll start screwing around with it, see where it takes us. Damn, does that look good. Look at that thing. I like it. I like it a lot. The double delta really makes it look thick. I mean, it looks the part to me, dudes. Yeah. You like it too? All right, well, that's good. I mean, that looks right to me. The angle looks right. See, this is where a procedural wing would help us. I could make a thick double delta wing. We'd just make a delta wing the size that's that thick, and then we could put panels around it. That's where KSP2 could take us. You know? It would be easier. Can you FaceTime me before racing? Sure. Yeah. I believe where I had it is right. Maybe even a little bit. Yeah, that should be... Yeah, that's where it needs to be. Are the gears really that far away? I guess I never noticed it before. Oh, yeah, they are. Wow, that's really far. I guess I never really noticed that. Yeah, they're very far away from each other. I mean, that's on purpose. Cool. Oh, yeah. Man, I wish we had bigger tires. I wish we could give this thing bigger tires. I hate those things. Did we fly yet? No. No. Alright. We'll leave it there. I'll work on it tomorrow. Time for racing, dudes. The belly and intakes for the F-22 are insane. It's a well-made piece of equipment. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So put on the large gear.